Cops don't like me, so I don't like cops.
Badges don't grant extra rights. This is Cop Block Radio on the FPRN Radio Network. Here are your hosts, Eric, Adam, and Scott.
And welcome everybody to the Cop Block Radio Show for October 30th, 2013. I'm your host, Eric, and with me tonight, as always, is Adam and Scott. How you guys doing?
Good, man. It's 2 shows in a row, all 3 of us, huh?
Yeah, no kidding, right?
A record.
It is. I don't even know what episode this is. I didn't even write it down. Was this like 29? 29, I think.
29.
That's crazy. So, last week, a lot of the show was taken up about the Jeff Gray incident, and I can't exactly remember where we left off, but of course, because that was happening at the time of the show, there wasn't a whole lot of information out, but now there's a lot more out, which is the sheriff's department who arrested him are involved in all sorts of shenanigans, so
go figure.
You guys want to talk about that? So last week we were talking about Jeff, and he got arrested while filming a traffic stop, and he was in jail, and his wife ended up posting up the video from, I believe, their car's dash cam that caught a good hunk of it, and they didn't let Jeff out of jail until the following day, and I believe it is $500 bond to get out. And they've charged him with a whole bunch of alleged crimes that he didn't actually do. You know, those good old catch-alls. But the funniest thing about the whole thing is when it hit photography is not a crime, Carlos put up the Facebook page to the sheriff's department, and it got slammed with comments. But the sheriff's department or whoever has access to run that Facebook page has been deleting the comments that have been left. And a bunch of people, including myself, pointed out that they're destroying public records because it's on a public organization's Facebook page. So now if anybody was to make a records request, they wouldn't have it because they deleted all of it.
Yeah, I know that, like, whenever the whole thing was going on, I think that Carlos posted something, and then I posted something, and my comment, I don't know if it was 1 or 2 comments were both deleted. Like, the person was clearly sitting there monitoring what was going on, and they were deleted really quick.
Yeah, and then once about 11 o'clock hit, it seemed to die down on the deleting, and then there are something like 30 comments on this one thread, and they were up, and then in the morning they all got deleted again. So I'm curious what's going to come out of that. As it stands right now, Jeff just has the outstanding, well, now he's charged with, actually I'm not 100% sure what he's charged with what I'm looking at right now.
Holy shit, they just hired 8 new members of the Brevard County Sheriff's Office. I hope they have extensive training coming in their near future.
Yeah, this sheriff's office doesn't look exactly constitutional, should I say? Because they're arresting reporters, and 2, they're holding like public meetings in churches and where there are already public venues that can hold enough people. So last I checked, that's unconstitutional to hold a public event for government government, whatever you want to call it, facilitation when there is a non-sectarian place available to the public.
Right. Well, I know that there was a bunch of people that were, whenever they were commenting, they were, doing they were trying to do freedom of information requests. And I don't think that's going to hold up, but, I'm going through looking at their things, and it doesn't have anything bad about, here we have the best sheriff, and I'm thankful for the sheriff, blah, blah, blah. There isn't one negative comment that I can find on the thread that everybody was using last week.
Right, and with Florida, their, I guess their state-level freedom of information, open records request, or whatever you want to call it, is way more lax than almost every other state. Really, all you have to do is verbally say, hey, I want to see this document, and they're supposed to honor that. So, like with Joel Chandler, when he was in there, he wrote out the whole long request, cited all the statutes that authorize him to, or I guess give him the ability in their rules to obtain records, and they just deleted it. So they deleted a public records request, which is technically a legitimate way to request records, because it's not like you have to fill out a form or anything, or at least you're not required to, and any way you can ask for it from the entity that you're looking for the records from should be honored. But in this case, his requests and a bunch of other people's requests were deleted, so that's they're like destroying requests for public records, which is probably a whole nother avenue of issues.
Oh my god, if you go through and read the comments, people worship them. It's terrifying. Congrats to all. We pray God's protection for each of them. That's tight, bro. Very nice.
Yeah, did you notice the photo that was on the flyer of the sheriff's department has a nice cross over his shoulder?
No, what
right?
the hell?
Yeah, look at it's it's the next thread after. It has a picture of him in his office, and there's a cross on the wall right behind his shoulder.
You are correct, sir. You leave your imaginary friends out of this.
I know, right? It's so ridiculous. I mean, what the hell?
Who was it? Dragnet? That's just the facts, ma'am.
That was a good show. I like that show.
Just the facts, ma'am.
I love how somebody it hasn't been taken out yet, but somebody tagged on that flyer the sheriff as unconstitutional. So it has the whole spiel that they wrote, and then it has the dash with unconstitutional. They haven't deleted the tag.
Where's this at?
Open the picture up for the flyer for the town hall meeting at the church, and then it says with unconstitutional.
Oh man, we need to start tagging the shit out of this thing.
But now I can't do anything on their Facebook page because they've banned me.
Oh, you've been banned?
I've been banned, so I can't make a comment or anything.
You were banned?
I was banned. I can't
really?
comment. Yeah. I can't comment on
I can.
And it was just for simply saying, isn't it illegal to destroy public records? That's all I did. I didn't even instigate anything. I was just asking, and they just banned me. So
I like to learn the Constitution. Did you see the other one, the other tag too?
No.
Give Jeff his cameras. Far right of the picture.
Oh, nice.
Yep.
I haven't seen that. That's awesome. But yeah, so anybody who still has the ability, I would say go check out their Facebook page, because it's just hilarious, and they just keep destroying records. So hopefully there's some people had the forethought to snag screen caps of a lot of these things, so we can put those up and be like, hey.
I bet you I'm banned in the next 20 minutes.
Take a screen cap first, though. It'll be hilarious. So at least we have a record that it exists. But yeah. So I'm trying to go through this and find out what they're actually charging Jeff with. Did anybody see yet? Going through one of the old articles.
I saw the video of Jeff coming out of the jail, though. Did you guys see that?
Yeah.
Yeah.
I guess we should have queued that up. Oh, well. So, yeah, I guess he's out, but they haven't taken any further steps since he's gotten out. And so we'll look forward to see what happens with that. Let's see. So,
sorry,
it was something funny.
Yeah, I'm trying to tag these photos, but it won't let me. Like, I hit tag and then I'll type something funny in, and then I'll hit done tagging, but it doesn't. The unconstitutional still stands, though. How awesome is that?
It won't even give me the option to tag.
Yeah, I'll be banned soon. Don't worry.
Yeah, I don't have that option.
I'm wondering if I already am, because I can't even. It won't let me tag. I can look at everything, I just can't do anything.
Oh, dude, we totally forgot to give out the call-in number.
Oh, yeah. Why don't you do that?
Why don't you guys do it?
I can do it.
All right, go for it.
All right, so the phone number calling the show is area code 567-314-9296. And you call that in, hit pound 1234, and you can get live on air with us and chat with us. Or we preferably like it if you can use Skype and Skype FPRN Radio Live. You add them, they'll add you back, and we'll get you on the show.
And now, if you're listening to the show live on FPRNradio.com /listen live or listen-live, there's a quick launch that you can just hit, and it will launch your Skype for you and connect directly to FPRN Radio Live for you. And if you're listening to it live through some other stream other than being on the website, there is a live chat room at that same page, which is awesome because it's now a nice, regular old chat that scrolls when it's supposed to.
Right, and so, yeah.
And
that's where all the cool kids are hanging out.
And one post doesn't take up half the page. So if 3 people make a comment, like, you have to scroll. You don't have to do that here. So it's all good. And I see Dio's in the chat. So good to have Dio. We missed him last week.
We did. We did.
All right, so I had posted a audio clip for this week, and it's about a story that happened a while back, and, well, I guess you'll just have to hear it for yourself, because it's insane. So we can play clip 1.
The attorney for an unarmed man who was mistaken for a car thief and shot at 15 times by police in his own driveway is planning a civil suit. That's after a grand jury cleared the officers involved. Pamela Brown is here with the very latest. Not an easy story to understand from the outside.
Yeah, no, that's absolutely right. You know, this happened over the summer, and the shooting sparked national outrage. And now this incident, once again, making headlines because the Escambia County officers face no charges in the shooting. But the unarmed man who deputies shot and injured, he's distraught over this decision, understandably, and vowing to keep up his fight to make sure justice is served.
Shot fired, Escambia.
Mistaken for a car thief in his own driveway while searching for a cigarette inside his car, an unarmed 60-year-old Roy Middleton was shot at 15 times by 2 Florida sheriff's deputies.
Someone was trying to steal my neighbor's car.
That 911 call set off a chain of events, which led to 2 bullets hitting Middleton's leg, injuries he will have to live with for the rest of his life.
Roy has sustained a very severe psychological injury, anxiety, depression.
Just last week, the same car riddled with bullet holes was vandalized outside his home. The words "Dead Man Walking" and "Why Kill" painted on it. This newly released dashcam video shows officers rushing to the scene at around 2:30 a.m. on July 27th. The shooting sparked national outrage and a state investigation.
You know, I was getting ready to do what they asked me, raise my hands, and I got shot.
Months later, a grand jury declined to charge the deputies with injuring Middleton. Middleton's lawyer says his client is distraught over the decision.
We weren't surprised, and this just made me more determined to seek full justice for Roy.
The state's attorney's office released a statement that says, in part, the grand jury found insufficient evidence to establish that any criminal violations were committed. Deputies say that Middleton did not comply with their orders and lunged at them with a shiny object. The shiny object turned out to be car keys, according to Middleton.
Why would I lunge at someone who's halfway down my driveway? I'm going to lunge at them with what?
Middleton's lawyer says he plans to file a civil suit against the Escambia Sheriff's Department and the officers for violating Middleton's civil rights.
When we put the full light on all the facts in this case, I'm confident that a jury will return a verdict for Roy.
And the Office of the State Attorney says the grand jury met over a 3-day period and heard testimony from numerous witnesses before making this decision. The grand jury also returned a report making recommendations to the Escambia County Sheriff's Office regarding training and procedures.
Look, I mean, we're not there. Recommendations for training and procedures, that's good, because that's the frustration here. It seems like this is a weird twist of the law between citizens as opposed to involving police officers who are supposed to deal with this better. It just boggles the mind. What would you do in your own driveway, in your own car, that would wind up being lunging at police who come there? It's a very unusual set of facts.
Yeah, it doesn't add up, and I think the story will certainly continue.
Right, well, and we'll continue to cover it. Pamela, thank you very much. Appreciate it. Kate, over to you.
Thanks, Chris. Coming up next.
So this was that story where the guy was shot in his own driveway in front of his own car. And it went before a grand jury, and the grand jury decided, the cops didn't do anything wrong. Are you out of your freaking mind? Anybody who is on that grand jury should be freaking ashamed. I don't know what the hell they're thinking.
It's the mentality, man. They're never, ever gonna, until you get the right people informed, they're never going to go against what they've been taught their whole life. Well, they're cops. They have a dangerous job, which is bullshit.
Right, and
they can't. They've been, they're so deep ingrained in the fact or the illusion that they have a difficult job, it's dangerous, and they make good choices.
Yeah, at least the officers had the aim of the average cop anyways and only hit the guy in the leg twice, even though they shot at him 15 times. I'm glad that cops have really shitty hit percentages because there'd be even more dead people.
I mean, we already did that with that, they figured out that hit percentage of that other one when they shot off 137 rounds at those two people.
Right. Well, that was
pretty lame.
Yeah. Yeah. So I can't, even the guy's lawyer was not surprised. He's like, I'm not surprised about it. Of course it's not, because friggin' they'll do whatever the cops want because they're fucking pussies.
Yeah, basically that's what it is. Yeah, people they're scared. They're like, well, if we testify against the cop and say he was in the wrong, I mean, was he going to come after me or something? I mean, he's a police officer. He could come after me. Realistically.
And the one thing I didn't get, what was up with the guy's car being vandalized that's already been shot up?
I don't know.
Was that like supportive vandalism? I missed that part of, were they saying it as a dig at the cops, or were they really vandalizing the guy's car because of the guy who got shot in favor of the cops?
Yeah, I don't know. How dare you got shot at by the cops and didn't die. Now we're going to vandalize your car.
Right, and he made a good point in the video, too, that they say that he lunged at them with a shiny object. It's like, he's in the driveway.
Object, huh?
And
keys in his hand.
Right, and he's like, why would I lunge at somebody who's at the end of my driveway?
You're a long ways away.
Right. Yeah, he's not going to stab you when he's 20 feet from you.
Yeah. Even with a shiny object.
Right.
I'm going to throw it at you.
Freaking ridiculous.
So, Dio was asking, how do they get a grand jury? I'm not sure I quite understand the question. The way the grand jury works, in my understanding, you have essentially the prosecutor brings all their evidence against, a case, but they don't, bring any charges, but they show the grand jury, which is, one of my friends was on there once. I think it's like, once a month or whatever. The prosecutor just brings evidence and they say, this is the case that we have against this person. The grand jury decides if the charges should be filed against the person. It's not a trial for the person to see if they're guilty or not. It's a trial essentially to see if they should be tried. It's like a preemptive trial, basically. That's the way that I understand the grand jury to be. I don't know how widespread they are. I don't know how often it happens.
And I don't even know if it's
Yes, yeah. Go ahead.
That the verdict has to be, or whatever the grand jury. It's just a recommendation. I don't think it's a yes, bring it to trial. No, don't bring it. And if the entire grand jury says bring it to trial, they have to. Or if one doesn't say bring it to trial, it's tossed like a regular criminal jury where you need a unanimous decision. I don't think that's the case at the grand jury level either.
Yeah, I mean, I believe it's the selection process is, similar if not the same, but it's more time consuming. It's not like you're going to have jury duty once. It's like a long time. I don't know if it's a year. I don't know, but it's longer, and you see multiple, instances of, okay, here's our case against this person. Here's our case against that person. So I don't know. I'm not an attorney, even though I sometimes refer to myself as one. Only when I'm thinking.
So if anybody has a little insight, it would be good to know on how that works, because I think that maybe that's something we need to be educated on. How does the grand jury actually work? Because I don't really know. I'm trying to quick scan the wiki article about it, but
the foremost authority on stuff.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Well, they've actually done studies that found that
it's pretty legit.
Yeah, in general, Wikipedia is actually more accurate than, say, encyclopedias and whatnot, because things can get edited and corrected, where if you print it on paper, then you're stuck with that same edition, even if you made a mistake. So they actually find it tends to be more accurate, because everything has to be cited, and people verify the citations and whatnot, and if they think they're crap, then they flag them. And
well, that's like I don't know. This was maybe a year and a half ago when Tosh was talking about his Wikipedia, and they went in and changed a whole bunch of stuff on it, and I went through and read it. It was hilarious. I mean, it was all BS, but it was hilarious. So it looks like Dio's on Skype. We got a couple of minutes, so we want to. Are you there, Dio?
Yeah.
You got some questions, man. I'm trying to keep up here.
I'm just wondering if it was the same process to pick a grand jury as it is to pick a regular jury. I mean, they parade jurors in front of a prosecuting attorney, and he gets to ask questions and, stuff like that, because at that point, if all they are to do is to determine whether there's a crime and whether it's to go forward or not, then there's no, defense to say, hey, wait a minute, this doesn't belong going, or whatever, you know what I'm saying? I mean, it just is, it seems a little bit, because then they could pick, right? I mean, they could pick cop-friendly grand jurors, right?
Yeah, I'm not sure how it works. I know that one of my friends, I think that I don't know if it was jury duty or grand jury duty that he was on, and it was there were certain people who were automatically excused. People who were teachers were automatically excused.
Yeah, I mean,
which is fine by me, because I think they're assholes anyway.
Well, I think that a lot of government workers tend to be excused as well, because they're already biased, especially at this level. If it's against a government employee, then government employees will probably be excluded.
Oh yeah,
probably not their families though.
I don't know.
Well, family members out to so many connections are dropped as well, because that's conflict of interest. So they'd be tossed as well. At least they should.
How many
they won't,
members
then
does
there
the
are probably
PBA
criminal
and the
charges
FOP
against
have
them.
that they can draw on for any one of these cases? You know what I mean? I mean, there's people that are members of those organizations that are not in the business. I mean, they have people to draw on to do things like that. I'm just saying.
Right. Of course, if you have a conflict and you don't bring it up and it's found out later, then you have felony charges as well. So they would be opening themselves up to problems down the line probably as well.
Yeah. I guess. I don't know.
Yeah, the cards are stacked against you anyway, so.
Right.
They seem to always be.
Yeah.
You can only do so much.
Because there's a lot of those, we see the videos and stuff, and it's like, how the hell can these guys be saying that they did nothing wrong? I don't get it.
Right, and what I'm reading is that most grand juries are 23 people, and 12 people need to recommend that the charges go forward. So a simple majority out of 23 people. So that means at least 12 people decide that they didn't do anything wrong. Which is kind of crazy.
Yeah. All right, well, we're getting close to break. So, Dio, you messaged me earlier. You said you got some news coming up and get some stuff going on next week or this weekend? I think, right?
Well, no, I'm tomorrow morning. I'm going to head up to Detroit and meet up with the Copblock tour and whatnot. So.
Oh, it's tomorrow morning. Sorry, man. I got all sorts of confused.
Wanted to mention that. I'm going to take a bus up to Detroit and go meet up with Pete and Garrett and go ride around Detroit with the Threat Management Center guys.
Very cool.
So, yeah, it should be very cool.
That's awesome. Have you ever met Pete before?
Yeah. When the last time when they rolled through Cleveland, he stayed at my house and whatnot. And
oh, sweet.
Yeah.
All right.
Yeah.
Now, you excited about the threat management team and learning about all that? Because that's pretty exciting stuff.
Yeah, I'd like to see what it's all about and everything. It seems like a good alternative. We
need to get that guy on here.
What's that?
The threat management guy. We need to get him on here.
Yeah. Try to get them on.
Well, there you go, Dio. When you're down there and you're talking, ask him if he wants to come on the show.
I know that Pete interviewed him on a video that was really cool.
He did, yeah,
for the website. But we should get him on here.
Yeah,
we totally should.
I will definitely mention it to him. Yeah. Unfortunately, I'm only going to have my phone camera, so I'm not going to have a lot of room for video, but I'll take what I can.
Oh, cool.
Oh, that's
so
exciting.
It should be interesting. Greater Cleveland meets Detroit. What sucks is I got to take a bus, so I bet you I'm going to be stripped. I'm going to a neighborhood with no fucking police, with no protection. Can't bring
have the threat management team with you.
Yeah, man, just bring cash.
Oh, man. Pay them for their services, and they'll protect you.
You can have all my cash. No.
So.
Yeah, I get to go with no protection whatsoever. So that should be fun.
Oh yeah. Yeah. Well, good luck with that, man. I'm happy to hear you get to go do that. I'm kind of jealous. I think that'd be awesome to be able to go do. So, you totally one-upping me there.
Yeah, I was hoping. I heard there was other people talking about it for a while that they might go up there, and that never came to pass. But even back then, I was like, I gotta. It's too damn close. I can't imagine not being able to make a 2.5 hour trip. That just is ridiculous.
Oh yeah.
So.
Yeah, totally. You gotta let us know how that goes and everything. Get up some video and all that, man. That's exciting.
Yeah, for sure.
For sure.
I thought you guys were supposed to have Pete on last week. No.
That's next week, actually. It's our 30th episode. We're doing Pete and Carlos next week.
Right on.
Yeah. So that should be cool.
Yeah. Cool, man.
Sure. We'll be fully updated with you and Pete and everybody. We'll get to find out how all that went.
For sure.
Heck yeah, man.
For sure. They'll have more video than I will, but.
Oh yeah, awesome. Well, thanks, Dio. Thanks for updating us, and I hope to hear from you again so we can find out how that went.
Anytime. Thanks for making me content creator on the page. That's cool.
Oh yeah, man. Happy to have your help, man. It gets hectic at times.
All right, so I'm reading this stuff about the grand jury, and it's slightly scary, but we'll have to talk about that after the break. You listen to the Copblock Radio Show on FPRN.
In 1997, a high school shooting was stopped by a vice principal with a gun. In 1998, a middle school shooting was ended by a neighbor with a gun. In 2002, a terrorist attack was stopped by a school guard and a teacher with a gun. After September 11th, pilots began carrying guns to protect their passengers. Let's give our schools and teachers the same option. Sign the petition at defendschools.com.
Hi, I'm Trevor Moore. Due to the recent revelations that in order to fight terrorism, the NSA has been using a secret court order to spy on every single Verizon and AT&T customer, Americans have become outraged and concerned about their rights to privacy. But along with that concern comes a feeling of hopelessness. I mean, what can we do? Vote in new leaders? Well, the problem is that during an election, each candidate pretends to not be an asshole. Then when they get the job, they reveal that they've actually been a complete asshole this entire time. No, elections are of no use. The only way to fight back against our country's excessive wiretapping and data mining is to make it irrelevant. That's why we're launching Operation Everyone Talk Like a Terrorist all the time. If we all openly discuss terrorist plots in each of our phone conversations, then eavesdropping on those phone conversations becomes pointless. It's simple. We just need to work it into our daily vernacular. For example, instead of saying, "I love you," you could describe a terror attack. The larger the scale, the more you love the person.
Hi, Mom. I just got out of school. Can you pick me up?
I'll be there in 15 minutes. I'm going to use a truck bomb to blow up the Brooklyn Bridge.
I'm mailing anthrax to Pierce Morgan.
Or, nonsense about God's will being great could mean affirmative.
Hey, man, they have a 7:30 showing. Do you think you can make it in time?
God is merciful and His love is unchanging. Did you already get me a ticket?
And those are just a few examples. You can make up your own. Have fun with it. But it's time for us to stand up and protect our rights. Because those assholes aren't going to.
At Damari Nolo Outfitters, we view the outdoors as our home, not a harsh wilderness. Our gear is chosen for adventure, not just in our backyard, but in the vast expanse of our amazing planet. Damari Nolo Outfitters carries the essential gear and tools you will need to live the empowering mindset of self-reliance. Our products are chosen especially for their durability and quality and are carefully tested by our staff and associates. Our promise to you is we never offer any item for sale we don't use ourselves, so we can offer only what we know to be the best. Our online store makes it simple to browse through our high-quality lines of clothing, knives, tools, load carry gear, and accessories. We are committed to offering you the best American-made equipment on the market, a promise you'll see as we continually add new products. For more information about our products and blog posts to help you learn more about self-reliance and equipment, please visit www.damarinolo.com. That's DOMARI-NOLO.com. Damari Nolo, chosen for survival and adventure.
Hi, I'm Steve.
I'm Irene. I'm Lisa.
My name is Tom. I'm a graphic designer,
College freshman. Stay-at-home mom with a full-time job.
Scholar on social policy and a barista.
and I'm just like you.
I'm an Obama supporter.
I support President Obama.
But the president needs your help.
Our president can't launch into another war without you. And remember, we promise to support him no matter what.
Together, we can do it.
That's why we here at the Americans for Whatever Barack Obama Wants, Did You Know He's Friends with Jay-Z, have launched a Kickstarter campaign to fund World War III.
And America is dead-ass broke. So our goal is to raise $1.6 trillion on behalf of the U.S. government.
That's where you come in.
Even a small donation would make all the difference.
When I first saw the president speak in 2008, in a YouTube clip posted to my Facebook page, I knew he was going to be right all the time. So I support World War III and IV and any moon war the president may want to start.
I mean, there is no way that he or the cabal of corporate interests, spy agencies, and shadow bankers that tell him what to do would ever mislead us. A $25 donation will get you a piece of rubble from a war-torn Middle Eastern country kissed by Senator Lindsey Graham.
A $100 donation gets you a day pass to leave your local refugee camp.
You'll probably end up in a refugee camp, but it'll have free Wi-Fi.
So please, help us reach our goal of $1.6 trillion so we can make World War III a reality. Why? Because Obama.
Because Obama.
You have reached the 911 emergency service. All operators are
busy.
Oh
Please
God, please help me. He's got a knife.
You have reached the 911 emergency service. All operators are busy. Please stay on the line for the next available emergency operator. You have reached the 911 emergency service. All operators are busy. Please stay on.
911 operator, what's your emergency, please? Hello? Hello? Hello?
Last year in the United States, thousands and thousands of 911 calls went unanswered. And if you call from a cell phone, there's no way to pinpoint where you are. Yet politicians like Dianne Feinstein call for more gun control. We have one question. Why do these politicians have armed bodyguards? Can't they just call 911?
Thanks for listening to FPRN. Don't forget to check us out on Facebook and Twitter. If you'd like to start your own show with FPRN, advertise with us, or donate to the network or to your favorite shows, check out our website at www.fprnradio.com.
And you're listening to the Copblock Radio Show on FPRN and syndicated across the interwebs, or you can download a podcast after the show at fprnradio.com. If you just go to the am I breaking up, or is
that was terrible?
What?
I don't know what happened. It was, oh man, you blew that one.
You were loud and wow.
What?
I was like, oh, my ear.
Crap. I haven't changed crap, so.
You're lucky I didn't shoot my mic and cans and computer in 3 shots.
Well,
it's terrible. Now the producers are using big words like overmodulated.
Yeah. Is it still really bad?
No, you're good, man.
Oh, okay. So what the fuck's the problem?
I got sorted out.
I didn't even do anything. All right.
You broke it. You didn't. Yeah, you're right. You didn't do anything. Thanks for nothing.
All right. So like I was saying, you can find us at fprnradio.com. If you just go to our show's page, you can check out the archives, and you can download some all the past episodes that we've done on FPRN, and usually sometime the next day after the show, I will add the show notes to copblock.org, and there'll be a link on FPRN's page for that. So you can go, if we're talking about something and you want to investigate further, there'll be links and all that jazz right there. And if you are listening to this on the podcast, we do this live Wednesday nights at 9:30 p.m. Eastern. So it'd be good if you listen live, because we have a live chat and call in. So just like Dio, you can call in and talk about what you want to talk about.
Yeah, one of our listeners was like, "Why is he yelling?" Maintain low tones.
No, my gain's all the way down like it's always been, so I'm good.
Speaking of live callers, I think a producer said we had a live caller on the line. Let's see here. Gotta scroll back up in my notes here. Yep.
Tony?
And Tony on the phone. Tony, are you there?
Here, guys, could you hear me?
Oh, there you are. Yep. Welcome to the show,
Can
Tony.
you hear me?
How you guys doing?
Wait, are you talking? Is this me or is this another caller?
It's you, dude. What's up, bro?
Can you hear me? Oh, all right. I'm doing good. I heard you was talking about the grand jury, and there is so much to this topic. It's really mind-boggling, and I've been working on it for a little while now because it is very relevant to Adam Kokesh's trial. But yeah, the grand jury is nothing to be proud of in any way, shape, or form. And I certainly don't know everything. I don't even know a fraction of what it does, but I can tell you some things. Okay, the grand jury actually dates back to like the 16th century, and what it has been throughout the centuries. Now, this is going from England all the way to colonial America, post-Revolutionary War, pre-Civil War, and to present day. It has been a way for the executive branch to basically, literally usurp the powers that are supposed to be granted to certain individuals, and it allows them to single out mainly activists and people who would speak up or stand against the power structure. And I mean, I have this one article here, and it's so long. There's no way I could even come close to even paraphrasing some of this stuff, but it just goes through every decade or two. Goes back to the IRA and certain political movements that would start and how they used the grand jury to use the executive power to bring these people in, and it would literally usurp the regular judicial system, and it gives more power to. They have they have a subpoena power over people, and they're able to influence them without actually bringing charges to them. So I know it's a real complicated issue, and if you see this article, I mean, the article is just humongous. It goes back to the 16th century, but it's some real bad stuff, because what it is it's another way for the people in power to get around even the laws that people say are supposed to protect them. And I think I heard you say earlier that most people say, oh yeah, it's a cop, he must have been doing what's right, or these people are so brainwashed and zombified the way it is that they're gonna basically go with the flow. And that's what it seems this whole article documents, like the last couple hundred years of the grand jury process and how it's now being used in America. And there are people where they that are relevant to Adam Kokesh's case that have been I don't want to word anything wrong, but I believe subpoenaed and are part or they use them to testify. I'm working on trying to get all this information out, but yeah, it's a very, very complicated system, and it's not a good system. It's not something that anybody should be proud of if you're looking to be a free person in any way, shape, or form. And
yeah, I'm looking at what's on here, and there's a lot of criticisms about it, because actually the people who are put onto the juries don't necessarily qualify for being on a regular trial jury or anything. They aren't like dismissed, and they're not screened for bias and improper factors and whatnot. And it sounds like the only thing that they are supposed to do is to judge or evaluate the evidence that is brought forth by the prosecutor and whatnot. And a lot of the problem is, sounds like it's a lot of just rubber stamping. I'm reading one statistic here is that between 98.5 and 99% of cases brought before them resulted in charges. So that, right. 99 times out of 100 that they're just going to send it through anyway. So is that 1% these people who have power, or in this case, the cop, the cops who shot at an innocent person? And so it sounds like it's a lot of rubber stamping. But you brought up another problem is the subpoena powers and whatnot. And in a grand jury, a person does not have a right to the Fifth Amendment or the Sixth Amendment. So they don't have a right to remain silent, and they don't have a right to counsel during a grand jury either. So it's a whole lot of...
With that, there was an article on RT that I've seen, once or twice, and it was these. It was out in, I think it was in Washington, in Pacific Northwest. They started jailing these anarchists. It just says third anarchist jailed for refusing to testify before secret grand jury. And there was a group of people that they basically are attacking and trying to get to, rat out each other for some alleged May Day riot.
Right.
And this grand jury, like the indictment or whatever, started before this event even happened. And there's like younger people that are being jailed because they refuse to speak. And
right, which is really messed up, because in the case of a grand jury, there isn't a judge, and the judge, if there's no judge, well, who
sends them where?
Who assigns them contempt? Well, it's actually the jury who can issue a contempt charge against somebody who refuses to talk. So that's really screwed up when you're taking it, and it's just these random people who are on the grand jury and they aren't screened for anything, and they're the ones suddenly making the call. Yeah, let's just throw them in jail without any repercussions, because it's secret, so we don't even know who's actually issuing these contempt orders to begin with, because the grand juries are secret across the board. It's not just this one.
Right, and here's one of the most outspoken people about the grand jury. His name was Lysander Spooner. Okay, and here's what he had to say. It is manifest, therefore, that the jury must judge and try the whole case and every part and parcel of the case, free of any dictation or authority on the part of the government. They must judge of the existence of the law, of the true exposition of the law, of the justice of the law, and of the admissibility and weight of all the evidence offered. Otherwise, the government will have everything its own way. The jury will be mere puppets in the hands of the government, and the trial will be, in reality, a trial by the government and not a trial by the country. By such trials, the government will determine its own powers over the people instead of the people's determining their own liberties against the government, and it will be an entire delusion to talk, as for centuries we have done, of the trial by jury as a palladium of liberty, or as any protection to the people against the oppression and tyranny of the government. So he lays it out very clearly that this is a tool of the government, that it is to help the government against specifically people that could be considered enemies of the government just by speaking out and not agreeing with what they're doing. And it has been used for hundreds of years now to specifically target activists or people that don't agree with the government, and usually that means a tyrannical, authoritarian, totalitarian system. So, yeah, it's not a good thing whatsoever, and it's very, very complicated. So, I urge people to look into it, but this isn't something that you could read one article on and have a grasp of. This takes some real studying. This is real complicated stuff here.
It gets deep, dude. It's crazy.
Yeah, it is crazy, and it goes to the whole system, though, of what we're living with, where they're passing bills that are thousands and thousands of pages, and where even
just vote for it. We'll read it when we pass it. We see how great that's worked out.
Even if this country did run like people believe it runs, are you telling me that you want to live in a system where your quote-unquote representatives, the people that represent you, are judged on how many laws they pass. Like when Ron Paul ran for president, he was ridiculed because, he introduced 400 and some laws and only one passed, and they laughed. Well, I'm thinking, the reason they didn't pass is because the laws he was passing were I'm sure, for the people and for liberty, and only one passed. Remember, which is probably a good thing. So these people are saying they're judging their congressmen and senators on how many more laws, how many more rules and restrictions they can place on them. And it's, it comes back to that loving your servitude. And this is what I see constantly with the American people. And it just absolutely turns my stomach that people love their own slavery so much. I just do not understand it. Yeah, pass more laws, more laws. It's like, really? You can't do anything right now without permission, without, getting your permission slips from the government, paying them off. You're not always going to get permission, but you certainly are going to need a certificate, a registration slip, a license, a permit. It's just way beyond it's way beyond repair, and people love it. They love it. Give me a national ID card, and let's make sure that every vote counts. And they don't even know the difference between voter fraud and election fraud. There's a voter fraud. No, there isn't voter fraud. It's fucking election fraud to begin with, and that's how they're able to get away with all this stuff. So,
there was a guy who I knew who's. He's thinking about running just for giggles because he's never going to get elected because his staple line is, I don't want to be a lawmaker, I want to be a law eraser. And that's how I would judge how well a representative is doing, is how many times they've repealed stuff. I don't want them making any laws. I want them repealing. That's what I want.
Absolutely. And I've been saying this a lot recently is, this seems to be the most disenfranchised generation ever, and rightfully so, and I understand it. And what's funny is there's somebody in this area who was running for mayor, and she lost her handgun. It showed up on the street somewhere. Then I think 2 weeks ago, she ended up falling asleep after leaving a bar at a stop sign. She got a DUI, and everybody's like, she doesn't stand a chance, this and that. And I'm thinking, I can't stand this system so much that if I were to vote, I would probably vote for, the person that is the least likely to win. If I were to vote, I would go in there and it would be the people that I've never heard of, or the system is just gone. It's absolutely toast. I don't want people trying to tell me what to do. And oh man, it's what was the point you were just making? Because it was a good one. And I got sidetracked talking about the local issue.
I think he was just talking about the fact that, he would be more likely to vote for somebody that was into repealing. Like, whenever Gary Johnson, ran for president, one of his big platforms was, I turned down more legislation than anybody in, in the rest of the country combined. And, I think there's a lot of people out there, the last time I voted, the last time I will ever vote, was for Gary Johnson. But I don't know. We want to make sure that we stay on track. But I think that, when it comes to this whole grand jury thing, that people need to understand that, these are basically like is the FISA court or whatever. This is a secret proceeding that can dictate, not just the lives of the people who are being potentially charged, but the people who are being brought before them. Here you have a case like we were talking about earlier of people who just refuse to talk. You can't make me do anything. You can coerce me into it by threatening violence upon me or throwing me in a cage. But, here's people who just didn't want to talk because they knew that it was a clown court. And, people are being thrown into jail, and that's where they're going to spend their life. And it's really sad because these people are in their 20s, that are going to, spend time locked away in a cage just because they won't bow down and submit to, what they're being told just because they don't believe in that thing,
Yeah.
Right,
Well,
and that's the land
I'll tell
where
you what,
the rules
I
that were
remember
already
when-
out there that we know to apply everywhere else, like you can remain silent, and that's your given right, not by the friggin' Constitution, but just by...
It's enumerated, yeah.
Well, who cares about that, but,
Well, it's being pointed out, right.
Right, it's being pointed out that you have that right anyways, and suddenly in this, as you call it, the clown court, these rules suddenly don't apply anymore, and now your fate is in the hands. Even if you aren't the one being investigated, if you're just a witness or something, your fate is suddenly, or your life is suddenly thrown into the hands of these people who have no checks, and it's not open, it's not public, it's completely secret, and there's no oversight or any type of review on what goes on, and you can't hold anybody accountable for what they do during one of these grand juries.
No, you're absolutely right. I'm glad that you guys are talking about it tonight. And as far as grand juries, no, absolutely not. Just like the rest of the government, needs to be altered and or abolished at very least. So, yeah, these people need to be stopped. I'm tired of having people in control, so much control over other people's lives, where you're seeing innocent people getting killed on a regular basis, by a state monopoly on violence. So, no, I'm done with it. I'm tired of it. So, hey guys, great show. Thanks for letting me speak, and keep up the good work.
Thanks
a lot,
Thanks
man.
for calling in and help us clear it up, man.
All
We
right,
were
guys.
kind of like lost. Like, all right, well, we kind of think this. We appreciate it, man. Thanks a lot, Anthony.
No problem, guys. Have a good
Take
one.
care, brother.
Bye-bye.
Baby Ruth?
What?
I said Baby Ruth. Yeah, so, for those of you who don't know, that was Anthony Antonello that called in to help us out, because Anthony knows stuff, man. He knows his shit, and we could have stumbled our way through it. Anthony's the host of Silences Compliance. He was on, right before us, from 6 to 9, 7 to 9. My bad. 7 to 9. Took me a second. You definitely check Anthony's show out.
I'm looking over the wiki article about grand juries in the United States, and it gives you a pretty good crash course. It's got criticisms in there as well, and it's all the problems that we were talking about. So I think it's a really good, concise crash course on knowing what's up. And if you want to dive down the rabbit hole, you're more than welcome to, but that just gets you nowhere eventually.
Yeah, I kind of let it slip. We talked before, I try to keep, personal and business as separate as possible, and I kind of let it slip the other day, and somebody made comment. I was like, yeah, the worst part about the rabbit hole is knowing there's no bottom. And the guy looked at me, and I was like, oh fuck, I can't believe I said that. And I felt like the guy knew exactly what I was talking about. I was like, nope, business, gotta be separate. Church and state. Imaginary power versus imaginary power.
So now, as Dio was talking about, Pete is on his tour, and he's in Detroit this week, and has been joined up by Garrett from Keene, from where I'm from. It was funny because I drove down and I saw Pete's vehicle in the driveway. I'm like, is Pete here? And then I realized it was Garrett taking the car out to Pete, because he had it left here in Keene. I got excited for a minute. I'm like, oh, Pete's home. But
did you want to go up and give him a man hug or something, or what?
No, just it's nice.
It's a bromance. Come on, man. It's a bromance.
There's a little bit of bromance going on. You felt safer. You were excited because you felt safer with him around.
I do feel safer with him around. He can freaking.
He's so short. I didn't realize that.
Short.
So what was it?
I didn't realize it either until I met him. I'm like, wow, you're short.
Did you say I used to look up to you? Whenever they had the pictures from the Police Accountability Summit down in Austin, they had all the big name people, and I was like, oh, Pete, man, Not as tall as I'd assumed. He's
That's
beast,
okay.
though.
He's
need to be tall.
He's a good guy. Yeah,
Pete's awesome.
And he's a good talker too, so he can smooth things over just by talking to people and getting them to talk. So we have a lot more to talk about after the break. You're listening to the Cop Block Radio Show on FPRN.
Mr. President, members of Congress, you've been making a lot of noise about taking our guns away. But you might want to review history. 1835, Gonzales, Texas territory. The authorities wanted to confiscate the big gun that protected that colony. You know what the people said? Come and take it. Because they were willing to fight for their freedom and their guns. So are we.
Come and take it if you want it. Come and take it if you think you can. Come and take it, but I warn you, you'll have to pry it from my cold dead hands. We want the freedom that God gave us, so you best not cross that line. If you want this gun, you gotta come through us and take it.
One shot at a time. Just like Gonzales, we're keeping our guns.
Do you have a group or organization founded on the principles of personal liberty, health freedom, or accountable government? We invite you to check out Same Side Entertainment. Get connected with leaders in the liberty movement like Tom Woods, Kevin Gutzman, Jack Hunter, Robert Scott Bell, Michael Scheuer, and many more. Find us on Facebook, Twitter, and our website at www.samesideentertainment.com. Again, that's www.samesideentertainment.com. Same Side Entertainment, connecting you with the education and resources you need.
In every age, a technology is created that upends the foundations of society. The wheel, the printing press, the internet. Now, in a world sliding into financial chaos, a new technology is changing the way monetary systems work around the world. It is called Bitcoin. Bitcoin is a new form of money, controlled not by banks, governments, or corporations, but through mutual commerce between free individuals. To learn more, visit weusecoins.com.
You have reached the 911 emergency service. All operators are busy.
Oh God, please help me. He's got a knife.
You have reached the 911 emergency service. All operators are busy. Stay on the line for the next available emergency operator. You have reached the 911 emergency service. All operators are busy. Please stay on.
911 operator, what's your emergency, please? Hello? Hello? Hello?
Last year in the United States, thousands and thousands of 911 calls went unanswered. And if you call from a cell phone, there's no way to pinpoint where you are. Yet politicians like Dianne Feinstein call for more gun control. We have one question. Why do these politicians have armed bodyguards? Can't they just call 911?
Talk about a wake-up call. I was paying for all the doctor's visits, insurance premiums, and medical costs out of pocket. All these expenses were keeping me from living the carefree lifestyle that I wanted. Then the government told me about Obamacare. Now with Obamacare, I don't worry about my health care. I eat whatever I want, whenever I want. I get all my prescription drugs for free, and there's no more coverage gap. I no longer need to worry about pre-existing conditions. We can see any doctor whenever we want for any reason, and so can everyone else.
Obamacare is not for everyone, like Congressman. If you are already healthy, do not use Obamacare, as you will see your premiums go up. If you are a sick person, do not use Obamacare, as you will see your premiums go up. Many people on Obamacare may experience longer wait times and fewer doctors, and denial of your treatment of choice. If you are faced with a healthcare situation, you may be denied treatment through government rationing.
Obamacare even covers my kids up to age 26.
If you experience a recession lasting more than 4 years, stop taking Obamacare and contact a travel agent to move to the Bahamas or New Zealand.
And the best thing is that Obamacare is free.
Obamacare is not free. Obamacare will increase the national debt by $863 billion in 10 years. Your taxes will go up $569 billion by 2019. If you see a major jump in your premiums, you should opt out of Obamacare immediately. Opting out of Obamacare is illegal and will incur major fines and penalties unless you are a union member who received a special waiver from the Obama administration. Obama is not responsible for the negative effects on the economy, your pocketbook, your freedoms, or your health.
Obama solved all my problems.
Obamacare. Live your carefree lifestyle.
Thanks for listening to FPRN. Don't forget to check us out on Facebook and Twitter. If you'd like to start your own show with FPRN, advertise with us, or donate to the network or to your favorite shows, check out our website at www.fprnradio.com.
Millions of tax dollars are spent on this type of computer surveillance.
And welcome back to the radio show live on FPRN and syndicated across the interwebs, or you can download the podcast after the show at fprnradio.com. And if you are listening to this on the podcast, we do this show live every Wednesday at 9:30 p.m. Eastern. And if you just go to fprnradio.com and there's a listen live tab, you just go there and there's all types of listening options, but there's also the live chat room there, so you can talk with us during the show, or you can call in during the show and talk about what you want to talk about, or at least involving police in general.
We try to stay on topic sometimes.
Yeah, we skew sometimes, but it's okay.
Yeah. We always bring it back.
Yeah,
we try.
So the call-in number is 567-314-9296. And then you can just hit 1 2 3 4 pound. But we prefer if you call in with Skype, FPRN Radio Live. If you are on the Listen Live page, there's a quick connect. But if you don't, it's FPRN Radio Live, all one word. You add them, we'll add you back, and you can call into the show. That sounds a lot better on Skype, so that's our preferred method.
Unless you're Eric coming back from a commercial break, and it sounds like you're yelling.
Did it happen again?
No, you're good.
Oh, okay.
No, you're good on this one.
Man, I just ran upstairs and
sort it out.
I just ran upstairs and threw some stuff into a bowl and popped it in the microwave, and I realized that I was not going to make it down in time before the break ended. And when I walked down here, I heard that last commercial. I knew it was the last commercial. I'm like, oh crap! I almost missed it.
We would have let it run.
Yeah, that's all right.
We would have rocked out for a minute. Where's Eric?
Yeah, I know.
Why is he not bringing us back in?
Are we supposed to be back yet? Yeah.
I don't know, but I hope they don't break my door down next. Sorry, Adam.
Is Adam having some doors broken down on him?
No, if you wouldn't have made it back, we would have just assumed.
Oh, okay.
Well, Eric's gone. They rounded him up.
I'm gonna get a GoFundMe and get him out.
Yeah.
All right. So, you guys have anything you want to talk about?
Yeah, hold on a second. So this was an old article, but even though it was old, I still think it makes a really good point. And, we don't even have to really get into a lot of detail. It pretty much speaks for itself. Oh, wait. I thought this was on RT. Oh, God. The Atlantic Wire. Is this a freaking satire website? I can't do a satire website thing.
Yeah, we've already done that a few times.
I know, we've already made that.
I know, it's such a problem because there's so many of them now. You can't really figure out what we're actually looking at.
I know, seriously, if you're not the Onion, shut up. Or Jon Stewart. Damn it. All right.
Well,
shoot
the link over and I'll look at it.
But it was talking about Germany, and it's called the Atlantic Wire. But it was talking about in Germany in 2011, they shot 85 bullets.
All the police? Total?
I mean, this isn't, hold on, I take that, I retract that. There was 9,000 shot, but they were at animals. Sick and dangerous animals. So, 9,000 at animals, but only 90 at humans. 49 warning shots, 36 on suspects. there was 15 people that were injured and 6 were killed in all of 2011.
What's that work out per capita?
I don't know, but I can tell you one thing. I've been to Germany, and I spent a little bit of time there, and they have a very young, like their police force is younger than ours. They're not a bunch of overweight slobs that are too lazy to run after you and chase you and tackle you down. And I'll tell you what, man, those damn European women, they had some freaking hot cops. There was some. It's like I'm, walking down. I was in Munich or Berlin, but it was like I'm walking down the street, and I was just like, where did you get all these like excessively attractive police women? But anyway, they were very non-confrontational with people. I mean, they were assertive, but I didn't actually see them with a lot of interaction with people, and there were some drunk people around. But something to think about.
So you brought it up when you were saying
bullets. Go ahead.
You brought it up when you were saying that it's a younger force and they aren't fat and lazy to run after you. Do you think that's a problem? Well, I know it's a problem in the United States, but do you think it adds to the reason why cops shoot instead of run and just tackle the suspect and they just shoot at him instead?
How many people are shot in the back a year?
A lot.
Yep.
Yeah.
How many people were, tasered, or people who are fleeing? If somebody's not a threat to your life, you cannot, initiate force against them.
How much of that do you think, though, is the fact that they're basically trained to be afraid of us, to be terrified of citizens, and they're scared of us? I mean, they're coward cops in general. I'm not that they're trained to be afraid of us and to act that way, not the fact that they're just too freaking lazy. I mean, I'm sure there are some of them that are too lazy, but they're trained that we're all terrorists and we're horrible people, and your only choice is to shoot at us. I mean, that's the way I kind of look at it.
Oh man, our producer's such a smartass. If they are running away from you, they are running towards you. Remember, the Earth is round.
They got a long ways to go.
Thanks, Columbus.
They get back.
Thanks, Christopher. Why don't you work on Eric's sound and then chime in a little bit later? Yeah, I think that our police force is a lot more heavy-handed, and they know that they can get away with a lot more, through historically they've been able to get away with more. They've been able to getting shooting people. They've been able to get away with beating people up and raping people, all kinds of craziness. It's not, the times that these are people are talking about, this isn't the first time this stuff ever happened. They're doing it because they know that they can get away with it, or they feel that they could.
Americans don't riot. I think that's the problem.
They're because Americans are pussies.
I mean, like you think about it, when anything goes down in the government of, say, like France or Germany or whatever, those people are out there like firebombing the place. Not that I support firebombing the place, but
it is. They are much more active when they're pissed off about something. They show it very well in comparison to what we do. We just kind of whine about it and sit at home on our couches and watch TV.
Because that's what everybody thinks is the right thing to do.
Mm-hmm. Nobody wants to get up and go out and do something about it.
I know.
It's sad.
Yeah.
Speaking of getting up and going out and doing something about it, had a good incident the other night with myself, my wife, and a buddy here in town. Went out, did some filming of the police here in Spokane. We actually ended up driving up on a situation that had just started. Basically, the officers were, I guess, looking for someone matching a description or something. From what I got out of the scanner, it was a little choppy. But basically, we showed up, we started filming. They were already questioning the two gentlemen. They noticed that we were filming. 2 more officers showed up. They noticed we were filming, and basically, as soon as we actually walked up closer to get a better film angle, so we could see what was going on a little bit better, make our presence a little more known, they flashlighted us. I had my I Record Cops hoodie on. They very clearly read it and basically packed up, told them to go, and drove off. So I'd like to think that it was our presence that kind of spooked them off and decided to stop harassing these 2 gentlemen, but I'm not 100% sure because we weren't that close, but I'd like to think that.
I had an interesting...
Now what?
I said we can hope.
Oh, yeah.
All right.
One at a time, guys. One at a time.
So I had an interesting thing on Friday. My wife was out and about running some errands and whatnot, and then she calls me and says, "Hey, can you come down to the overpass up on the surface street? There's a guy who has climbed the fence and is threatening to jump." Which I thought was a little odd. So I'm
Did
like,
they shoot him?
No, amazingly. But I did get video of them pulling him off the top of the fence though. But anyways, she called me and I'm like, I'm not sure what I'll get. And then she's like, "Come down here." So I got in my car and drove down and parked on a side street, and I was standing out, filming it. And then some lady in some sort of security looking, I don't know what you want to call it. She looked like a police officer, but I didn't recognize the uniform because the stadies here wear green and the city wears black. So I was confused on where she was actually from. So she yells over and says, "Are you serious?" And I said, "What?" And she's like, "This doesn't need to be broadcast, blah, blah, blah." And she just keeps walking. So I'm like, that's a really odd thing to say. It's like, isn't this really newsworthy? I'd say this is a newsworthy event right here. But later on, I finally figured out who she was because my wife was actually parked in her car even closer to the scene. They had cleared everybody out, but for some reason they didn't bother her. And she's like, "Yeah, it looks like hospital security," because it was actually right next to the hospital where this overpass was. So I'm like, huh, that's weird. So I guess it wasn't really the cops who had yelled at me. It was actually the hospital security. But somebody later on said that they were listening to the scanner. I hadn't turned the scanner on at the time, and said that it was called out over the air that they were going to arrest somebody if they wouldn't stop taking pictures or something. But no cop ever confronted me after I found out that it was actually hospital security. So it was really weird. But I did get video of it, so you can check it out at Keen Copblock on the YouTube page. Is there?
Nice.
There's like 45 minutes too.
Oh crap!
I don't have all 45 minutes of video. I just put up a minute and a half, which contains him getting yanked off the fence.
The good stuff.
Right.
I left out the boring stuff. Put in the good stuff.
Because I had just barely started narrating a part. And I'm like, yeah, we're standing here at Court Street overpass. The guy's up on the fence right there. But the thing that's the problem is that the hospital's right here. So they've been rerouting ambulances around the scene, which this is like a main road to downtown and to the rest of the city. Like, they have to go out of their way and run down all these surface streets where there's 4-way stops everywhere. So it's like, it really sucks. They're rerouting all of these ambulances down these side streets because this guy, and then after they finally pulled him off the fence, it's like, why didn't you guys do that like 35 minutes ago? You've been here talking to him, and you've been within a half an arm's reach of him for the past 35 minutes. So why didn't you pull him down then?
Craziness.
So other than taking their sweet ass time, I'd say in this instance, the cops probably did the right thing. They didn't beat the shit out of him after they pulled him down.
No people's elbow to his chest after that one.
Nope.
Nope. Good stuff. Scott, did you have something there you were starting to talk to? What do you got?
No, we're good. Go for it.
All right. Just making sure. I got other exciting news. I'm going down to Salt Lake and then into Vegas. I'll be in Vegas the 10th, 11th, and 12th of next month. And I'm actually meeting with Kelly, founder of Nevada Cop Block, and we're planning on going out and doing some cop blocking in Vegas. So I'm pretty ecstatic about that. And then the rest of the time I'll be
from Joe Nazari on how not to get throat punched.
Now what?
Are you going to get some tips from Joe on how not to get throat punched by the Vegas PD?
Yep, there you go. Yeah, so we have that planned, and then I got to reach out to Salt Lake City Cop Block and see about meeting up with them, getting to know them. Yeah, there's a Facebook page up, but it hasn't been very active, so I'm not sure if it's still going or what's going on with that. So I got to look into that.
You can go cop block those crazy Mormons. You should totally stand outside the giant castle and film and see what happens.
Yeah, there's been some nasty stuff that's happened in Salt Lake with the police, from what I understand. And so, from what I know about it, is it's probably a good thing there's one there, and it probably needs to be bigger than it is.
I think that whole state's BYOB.
It should be. That's just how they should label it when you enter that state.
Yeah. Turn to stop, turn around, BYOB.
Yeah, bring your own, because ours is watered down.
So anyways, what was that about getting throat punched? Did I totally miss something at some point?
No, Joe Nazari was talking about how Vegas, the guys that work the strip on Vegas and all these guys, like, they don't take shit. So, someone you might want to touch base with and figure out how far you're going to be able to take it before you get cuffed and stuff and throat punched, and yeah.
Yeah. Well, the way I look at it, Kelly's done some serious filming and done some great activism down there. So having him by my side, I'm not too worried about it. I think it'll be good stuff. I think he's probably knows the show down there pretty well, knows how things go. So I figure it will be all right. And if not,
is he going to lend you a road bike?
No, what?
Is he going to lend you one of his road bikes?
Oh, I have no idea.
Like every day I see it pops up in my feed that Kelly rode 28,000 miles today.
He is very active on that bicycle for sure. And I love his suit too. His suit is awesome.
Yeah, he's got a regular bicycling jersey, but it has Cop Block stuff on it.
Well, it's like a full suit. It's like full out professional bike riding suit, whatever you want to call it. I don't know what they call it. It's like all spandex, and he's got shorts and the top, and it's all covered in Cop Block gear stuff.
No, he's got like a biking jersey and then the regular bicycle pants, but they're all Cop Blocked out. They're
all blue and black.
It's like a unitard.
It's awesome. It's cool stuff. I think it's great. He actually did that.
I know. You should sell those. Those would be awesome.
Oh my god, my computer sucks so bad. I'm trying to find.
That sounds like a personal problem, not a show problem. No,
it's relative.
It's relative. Well, speak your relativity then.
I was trying to find the pictures of his shirt.
Sorry, I put you on the spot there, didn't I?
It's all good.
Oh yeah.
So I started this new thing in my town where, anytime I always, post and let people know where the road pirates are. And people have more and more people have been, outspokenly thankful. Like, hey man, thanks. That's cool. Thanks. And, I started this new thing where I beep at them and I wave every time I see them.
You gotta start recording that. That'd be hilarious.
It would be awesome. You could make this whole montage of it.
Me just beeping and waving at the road pirates.
You could edit it all down so the beeps are sequential and sound. You can make a little beat out of it.
Yeah, one of my friends that moved to LA, I don't know why, and they were they texted me and it was about you always post road pirates, and they were like, as soon as I saw this cop sitting there, all I thought was, you fucking road pirate. So they texted me and I was like, good, my work here is done. And, but now my new thing is they're not road pirates anymore. I almost want to call it in and just like, I just like to report armed robbery on the corner of, Main Street and 2nd Street. There's a person standing out someone's car and they're holding them up. That would really get some attention. That would undesirable.
Yes.
If you think about it, it's not a lie.
No, not at all.
Yeah.
Yeah, somebody was in the chat was asking about who's going to the Atlanta stop of the Copblock tour. So I figured I'd throw out the last couple dates for the tour with Pete, and now Garrett Ian is also on the tour with him. And they're leaving, so they're in Detroit tomorrow, and then they're going to Chicago for the 2nd through the 10th of November, and then Atlanta is November 11th to the 17th, and then they are going to New Orleans the 18th through the 24th. So if you guys can make it out to any of that, that'd be cool to hook up with them. I figured that'd be useful.
Very useful. No, I hope so. I still keep giving Pete crap for not coming over here at all. Like, the only place you stopped on the West Coast was, the Bay Area. I'm like, that's it? Really? That's it?
You can only do so much, I guess.
I know, but that's 2 tours in a row. He's missed this whole area. So I give him a bunch of crap for it. He said, hopefully next tour.
Well, you guys got it covered. I guess mostly because I think at this point he's heading home after that. So
yeah,
I guess he'd be heading back to Keene after that. Though I'm not 100% sure what he's doing after that.
Oh, no.
But it'd be good to see him either way.
That's right.
That is a serious Copblock jersey.
Oh, you're looking at it?
Yeah, he's got long hair and a beard, man.
I think he's got. Doesn't he have dreads?
I don't know. The pictures are blurry. I'm about to Elvis on my computer here. Oh, good, it's not responding. That's nice. Have a great evening. If my computer had a throat, it would be struck.
Alrighty, so I guess we can go through a couple of the stories that I had posted. Oh, did you see? This one was crazy. It came up originally on the Smoking Gun, but I've traced it back to the original source, that a Florida woman has been arrested for her attack with a water pistol on her boyfriend. Did you guys read this?
In it, or?
Nope. So it said that they were having an and she took the water pistol and squirted him with it. That was it. That was
Wait, that is the story?
That is the story.
Huh. That's almost like the cop that was like, there was the real tall cop, and there was the girl that was blowing bubbles, and the chick cop was like standing there, and you know, she was not overly irritated by it, but this dude was just being a total dickhead, and he's like, if you don't stop blowing those bubbles, I'm going to arrest you for assault. And she's like, what are you talking about? They're bubbles. And he's like, it's a detergent, and if it gets in my eyes, I'm going to arrest you.
Like, yeah, I've seen that video. The video was awesome. It made me laugh so hard.
But yeah, so this girl was arrested because she shot a water gun at her boyfriend, who then he dumped a container of water on her and hit her with a pillow. This sounds like a freaking normal Friday night to me. I mean, this isn't exactly outrageous. It's not like anybody was really actually hurt.
Well, yeah, it's a water gun. I mean, really, what are you going to do with it?
Yeah.
There's not even a hose, and there's no bleach or vodka in it. Like, really?
Right. So as a result, she was arrested for squirting water on the victim who antagonized and agitated him against his wishes. It's like, that's what a couple does. Isn't that what you do, like, every other day, is antagonize each other? Now you can be arrested for it.
If the bubble touches me, I'm going to be arrested for assault. Do you understand me? Yes, that's right. It's a deliberate act on your behalf. I'm going to arrest you. Do you understand me? Right, you're going to be in handcuffs. All right? You either knock it off with the bubble, you touch me with that bubble, and you're going into custody.
You missed the
hard to hear,
pose.
but that's
it's a detergent. It's fucking soap.
The video helps. I'll give it that one.
But yeah, it is hilarious.
Yes.
But for the squirt gun thing, the entire affidavit and police report is online, so you gotta check it out, and we'll have it in the show notes. So we have to head to break, and after the break, there is more Cop Block Radio Show on FPRN.
What's better than silver? Free silver, of course, which is what you'll get by partaking in Sons of Liberty Mint's weekly silver giveaways. It's fun, it's easy, and it's your chance to win 4 fine silver quarters. That's 1 ounce of .999 fine silver from Sons of Liberty Mint. All you have to do is guess the close of spot price each week for your chance to win. Visit sonsoflibertymint.com/contest for more details. That's SUNS, sonsoflibertymint.com.
Well, yeah, it's getting tough out there. Yeah, no doubt. I work in home invasions, mostly. Some murder, occasional rape, if she's hot, or really bitchy. And I'm a huge advocate of gun control. Absolutely. Every time I kick in a door or smash a window, I face the possibility of being shot and killed. Allowing citizens to own guns creates a hostile work environment for me and my associates. No one should have to work under those conditions. I say make them all illegal. Absolutely. I mean, I break the law for a living. I'm a professional, so it doesn't really bother me. No doubt.
Your local violent criminals work hard and put their lives on the line every time they attempt to murder, rape, abduct, or assault a member of the citizenry. They desperately need your help. With your support, there may finally come a day when a violent criminal can have his way with you or someone you love without the fear, anxiety, and stress caused by knowing there's a possibility his victim might be armed. Please show your support by voting for stronger anti-gun legislation because criminals prefer unarmed citizens.
In every age, a technology is created that upends the foundations of society. The wheel, the printing press, the internet. Now, in a world sliding into financial chaos, a new technology is changing the way monetary systems work around the world. It is called Bitcoin. Bitcoin is a new form of money, controlled not by banks, governments, or corporations, but through mutual commerce between free individuals. To learn more, visit WeUseCoins.com.
Do you have a group or organization founded on the principles of personal liberty, health freedom, or accountable government? We invite you to check out Same Side Entertainment. Same Side is a source for activists and liberty organizations to connect with well-known leaders in today's growing movement for sustainable living, personal liberty, and sovereignty issues. Same Side has a variety of keynote speakers, debate panels, interactive web presentations, musicians, and liberty-based entertainment, as well as services for web design, graphic design, video, and photography. Same Side can help customize your event by connecting you to the best of the liberty and political world while staying within your budget. Get connected with leaders in the liberty movement like Tom Woods, Kevin Gutzman, Jack Hunter, Robert Scott Bell, Bob Murphy, Michael Scheuer, John Bush, Jordan Page, Tatiana Moroz, and many more. Find us on Facebook, Twitter, and our website at www.samesideentertainment.com. Again, that's www.samesideentertainment.com. Same Side Entertainment, connecting you with the education and resources you need.
Get over to sonsoflibertymint.com right now. Secure your wealth by trading in those pesky Federal Reserve notes for Sons of Liberty Mint's fine silver quarters. These 1/4 ounce bars, square in shape and stamped "Trust in Yourself," are unlike any other traditional round. With 4 pieces per ounce, you'll not only be investing in sound money, but you'll also be purchasing usable, divisible silver. Don't get stuck with ferns or bulky silver bars. Visit sunsoflibertymint.com today and invest in silver you can use.
Talk about a wake-up call. I was paying for all the doctor's visits, insurance premiums, and medical costs out of pocket. All these expenses were keeping me from living the carefree lifestyle that I wanted. Then the government told me about Obamacare. Now with Obamacare, I don't worry about my health care. I eat whatever I want, whenever I want. I get all my prescription drugs for free, and there's no more coverage gap. I no longer need to worry about pre-existing conditions. We can see any doctor whenever we want for any reason, and so can everyone else.
Obamacare is not for everyone, like Congressman. If you are already healthy, do not use Obamacare, as you will see your premiums go up. If you are a sick person, do not use Obamacare, as you will see your premiums go up. Many people on Obamacare may experience longer wait times and fewer doctors, and denial of your treatment of choice. If you are faced with a healthcare situation, you may be denied treatment through government rationing.
Obamacare even covers my kids up to age 26.
If you experience a recession lasting more than 4 years, stop taking Obamacare and contact a travel agent to move to the Bahamas or New Zealand.
And the best thing is that Obamacare is free.
Obamacare is not free. Obamacare will increase the national debt by $863 billion in 10 years. Your taxes will go up $569 billion by 2019. If you see a major jump in your premiums, you should opt out of Obamacare immediately. Opting out of Obamacare is illegal and will incur major fines and penalties unless you are a union member who received a special waiver from the Obama administration. Obama is not responsible for the negative effects on the economy, your pocketbook, your freedoms, or your health.
Obama solved all my problems.
Obamacare. Live your carefree lifestyle.
Thanks for listening to FPRN. Don't forget to check us out on Facebook and Twitter. If you'd like to start your own show with FPRN, advertise with us, or donate to the network or to your favorite shows, check out our website at www.fprnradio.com.
And welcome back to the Copblock Radio Show live on FPRN and syndicated across the interwebs. And I'd like to give a shout out to our newest sponsor, Sons of Liberty Mint, and that's SUNS. So Sons as in the star that we circle. You can go check them out at sonsoflibertymint.com, and they make silver quarters, which are really cool because having an ounce of silver and trying to buy something small is kind of a pain, but I think they're really cool because they're square and they're not the normal circular rounds and whatnot. So you can go check them out at sonsoflibertymint.com, and I think they have 1 ounces coming out soon, so you can go check them out. Either of you have anything to say about that?
Sorry, had mine muted. My wife was walking by. And she's listening to the show on the TuneIn Radio app on my phone, so so I was trying to keep quiet for a second there.
Nice. I like that they have the quarters. They got the 1/4 ounce.
No, that is awesome. That's sweet. I know our producer is pretty ecstatic about that because I know he got some and he thought it was pretty sweet stuff.
And they're made right here in New Hampshire, so that's pretty cool.
It is sweet. Oh, yeah, and that's right. Yep. Dio got his, as he won the contest on the copblock.org page. Content submit, whatever. I forget what it's called exactly now.
Yeah, and if you like their Facebook page, they do a weekly contest on guessing the spot price at the end of the week, and if you hit it, then they send you some goodies.
Yep. Yeah, you got tons of ways to win from them.
Yeah, they send you an ounce worth of Suns, so they send you 4 of them. That's pretty sweet.
Yeah, it is awesome.
Anyone know what spot is right now?
It was at like 20-something earlier today. I kind of stepped away from silver for a little bit, and I was watching the silver's at 22.44 according to JM Bullion. But I was too busy watching Bitcoin freak out for the past 2 weeks.
Oh yeah, it has been too.
Has the crash started?
No, I'm still waiting. If it did, I would have plenty more.
Yeah, you look at it over time, and there's always after a spike, there's a huge crash, but it levels out much higher than its previous level.
It does. It seems to come right back up and hold value very well.
Yeah, I mean, I bought mine under 100, and I had a number picked, and it was close, but I was like, nope, gonna hold off.
No,
well, I think that's what most people are actually doing anyway. Like, most people are just holding their coin.
That's what I've been doing.
I don't know anybody that's really purchasing anything with their Bitcoin.
Yeah.
I mean, have you guys used it to purchase anything?
I have not yet. I've been just holding it.
That's the thing. It's just going to sit there for a while.
I know.
Did you hear about that guy that bought that crap ton that Derek Day did that article the other day on Peace News Now?
He bought like $27 worth of Bitcoin. Now it's worth
back in like 2009 when it first started, and so it was like 5,000 Bitcoin for 20-something bucks, and now he's got like over $1 million in Bitcoin. And what government is that? Is that, was it Spain or France or something? Is trying to tax him on it now because he made so much money.
I understood it that as long as you were not mining it, it would not be taxed.
Well, yeah. I mean, he bought it and it just gained value because it went up in value.
Yeah, I would have.
Yeah, like if you own a car, do they suddenly tax you on the increase of your classic car value?
Yeah, exactly. Yeah, that's craziness.
I mean,
I just thought
having a car is they actually do tax owning a car. It's a luxury tax.
Yeah.
Like, it's a luxury. I got to drive to get groceries.
Crazy.
Yeah, we have stuff like that here. Registration is based off valuation of the vehicle, so it really sucks. So if you have a really expensive car, you're going to pay a boatload in registration.
Oh yeah. So from what I understand, we got a couple callers on the line. So let's jump to the first one. Let's do Mr. Santana from now I'm brain fart again, man.
Miami.
Sorry.
CB Miami.
Miami. There we go.
Juan, you there, dude?
Hello. Yeah, what's up? How are you guys doing?
Good, man. How are you?
Oh, man, here fighting this police officer that wants to call himself a mayor. I what's it called? You guys, that I'm running for mayor of Hialeah here in the city of Hialeah over here in Miami, Dade County, and I was looking at Copblock, Miami's Facebook. We have 403 likes, and we had a DUI checkpoint the other day here in Hialeah, and it actually worked. We flooded Facebook, and there was nobody passing through 49th Street. And I was there with my bullhorn reading out the Constitution to these tyrants, which that was a lot of fun.
So make sure I heard this right. Sorry, your call is coming in a little choppy, at least for me. So you guys put up on the Facebook page that there was a checkpoint, and it successfully worked, and a lot of people avoided it? Is that what you're saying?
Yeah, a lot. Like, a lot of people avoided it.
Very nice. That's awesome to hear, man.
It was a very successful checkpoint.
That is awesome.
Actually, that's a totally genius idea. You were saying you were reading the Constitution to the checkpoint?
Yeah.
You should totally get it just like an audio file of it and just stick it out on a boombox and just play it over and over. That'd be hilarious.
No, I carry the pocket-sized Constitution in my pocket.
I know, but I mean, so you don't have to sit there reading it over and over and over. You can just play it.
Yeah, but then you could risk a charge for like disturbing the peace or something.
These cops hate me over here, so you know, I prefer to bother them, you know, with my voice, you know. And you know, they're like, oh snap, here comes Santana, and they even have a code word for me now. They say camera Santana, and they run. You know.
Well, I guess really at a DUI checkpoint, you should just have the Fourth and Fifth Amendment repeating over and over and over.
We got somebody in the chat says you should just use your megaphone, man.
Yeah, no, that's what I had. I had it on the megaphone.
Oh, nice.
What was it called? If you ever want to check out some of my YouTube videos, you just type in Hialeah Police on YouTube, and let me tell you, the one of my Fourth Amendment rights getting violated. I mean, my First Amendment right on the 4th of July at Mylander Park, which is a public park. It has over 10,000 hits already, and that was on the 4th of July.
Nice, man. That's good to hear. Good to hear that your YouTube channel is doing good, man. That's awesome. Do you have any other news for us? Anything else going on current there?
Yeah, a friend of mine got arrested for they were racial profiling him. He was riding his bike home, and if you ever look up what's the third worstest place in the United States to drive, it's Hialeah, where I'm at. And let me tell you, you know, he knows better than to be on the main street at night, especially, you know, he's African American, you know, the people can't really see him that good at night. And so he was taking the back street, the cops stopped him, and they arrested him for loitering and prowling. But now he doesn't leave the house without a camera. He learned his lesson, you know? And I always tell people to film the police, you know what I mean?
I do. Everywhere I go, I take, if not 2 phones with me, because I have a second phone that I use for just a camera. It's basically always in my pocket. And if I don't have that and it's not charged up, then I actually take my nice HD video camera out with me. Basically, anytime I leave the house, you could ask my wife and friends, I always have cameras on me. Just in case. You never know.
Got to. Well, I was on CNN Latino here in Miami. And I was explaining to, because the ex-mayor of Hialeah goes, oh, is that, you know, these police officers, they have a lot of guns. And I say, well, I have a lot of cameras, you know. And they freak out, man. They're like, oh, I put the look-see in my ear. I have my HD camera Canon. And then I have my cell phone streaming both of them live, you know, on look-see live and live stream. So they freak out.
No, yeah. So what are your thoughts? Have you heard the whole thing about Jeff Gray? Do you know anything about that?
Oh yeah. I called Carlos. I know Carlos Miller. He's over here in Miami. I'm so happy to hear that they joined together. Joe Chandler, Jeff Gray, and Carlos. Carlos took on 2 new partners. I don't know if you guys know about that or not.
Yeah.
I'm super excited about it. I'm actually going to practice. Joe Chandler just threw out an article. I'm going to go do a public records request at Duke Sports tomorrow because he thinks he owns Babcock Park is the oldest park here in Hialeah, and he thinks he owns it. So I'm going to be doing some public records requests tomorrow over there, and I want to see them call the cops. You know.
Nice. Well, it's good to hear you're doing good and got some good activism going and making a difference over there, especially with checkpoints. That's awesome stuff, man. I'm trying to get. I did a Know Your Rights seminar in a predominantly African American neighborhood here in Hialeah. It's called Seminola, and I had 20 people, and we're practicing how like if a police officer comes and tries to intimidate them, to pull out their cell phones. And I have another cop that he gives me information, and they told me it happened to them 2 days ago.
that they came up to them and tried to intimidate them, and everybody pulled out their cell phones and started recording over there. So we're just trying to keep these people in check, make sure that police accountability is across the board here. You know, keeping these corrupt individuals, especially the mayor of Hialeah, since he's an ex-police officer as well. You know, I go and I make fun of him every day. I say, you're not a mayor, you're a police officer. You need to just resign already. You know?
Well, that's awesome.
Yeah.
That's awesome to hear that you obviously make an effect in the community and making them actually start to respond and start recording the police. That's awesome. I hate to cut you off, but we have one more caller on the line, and we're coming up at the show.
Thanks, guys. Appreciate it. Thanks for letting me in. All right?
No, thank you, man.
Appreciate it. You guys, I'll be listening. Thanks. Bye.
All right, man. All right, so I guess we have Dan? Dan on the line.
Yeah,
Dan, you there?
Dan. How you doing?
Good, man. How are you?
Good. I was watching the World Series, listening to your show. I wanted to say something about we had a checkpoint out here a couple of years ago, and they did it. There's only one way into the town I live in. It says one main road, in and out, and it has a bridge into the town. So they decided to do a checkpoint like 4 o'clock in the afternoon, like on a Friday, and everybody was getting off of work from two cities coming home. And they had a blockage of probably half a mile to a mile long of cars that you had to wait like 1 to 2 hours in this line. I mean, it was the most asinine thing I've ever seen. These guys were looking for drunk drivers at 4 o'clock in the afternoon, and they just made people that had just worked all day wait 2 extra hours to get home, And this is the kind of stuff that they do. They just sit around and they think, gee, let's do a checkpoint at 4 o'clock in the afternoon on a Friday. It's like
They did that in
so
Columbus
ridiculous.
a few times when I lived there in Columbus, Ohio. They did checkpoints at like noon or
Well,
4
they never
o'clock
did
in
it
the
again
afternoon. It
because
was
so
really
many
messed
people
up.
complained. They wrote letters to the paper. I complain. I don't even drink, but I thought it was stupid,
So, yeah, you haven't even given
but
anybody a
that's
chance to get home and start drinking yet.
Exactly. But these people work. Can you imagine getting up at 6 in the morning, putting in an 8 to 10 hour day, and then waiting 2 extra hours to get home?
Yeah, I'd be a little pissed off, too.
Well, fuck you. It's ridiculous. Sorry, but we'll cut to the chase. Did you guys talk about the Andy Lopez case yet tonight?
I don't believe so, no.
You familiar with that case?
I am not. Eric, are you? Or Scott?
Nope.
No.
Oh, okay. That's what I called because we need to talk about this case.
Yeah. We talked about it last
third-
week or the week before. It was the 13-year-old kid who was shot while carrying a BB gun replica of a AK-47.
Oh, was it the airsoft one or is it a BB gun?
Yeah, exactly. He was given like less than 10 seconds to comply, and from what I'm reading and understanding of this case, there's only the one sheriff fired before the other sheriff could even get out of the car. It's just another rogue renegade cop, looking for just somebody to shoot. It's just crazy. But they're having the memorials at the rallies for him yesterday and today in Santa Rosa, and I don't know if you knew this, but thousands of people came out, like maybe 5,000 people. And I just thought that was excellent because you're finally getting people who didn't even know this kid, who aren't victims of any kind of police crime yet, who are now rallying behind victims. And that's what it's going to take. It's going to take people who aren't affected yet to say, hey, maybe it could be my kid next, And I just wanted to relay that to you if you didn't know that. The rallies were excellent. A lot of people turned out. And I just thought that was really, really good to see the outpouring in the community for this, young man. And a lot of lessons to be learned from this. I mean, parents, tell your kids, don't play with guns. I mean, there's just cops out there that'll kill you. I mean, even when they're wrong, I'd rather have a live kid than a kid playing with a gun killed. You know what I mean? So
Yeah, so there's actually, I did post this in our show prep. We just haven't gotten to it yet. There's been an update on that situation, and the officer who shot Andy Lopez was County Deputy Eric Gelhaus. That's been revealed now. He's a 24-year vet of the department.
Right.
Served in Iraq and is a firearms instructor and a prolific writer and commentator on the internet. And he is a moderator on the Firing Line, which is an online forum, and he writes in SWAT magazine, and he wrote in 2008. One of the things he tells his trainees was, "Today is the day you may need to kill someone in order to go home. If you cannot turn on the mean gene for yourself, who will? If you find yourself in an ambush in a kill zone, you need to turn on that mean gene." And it just goes on. This guy is it's such a loose cannon, and I have no idea why he's training people in a civilian capacity.
Well, that Manteca cop John Moody is now training people. They killed Ernest Duenas. I mean, that's the problem that we need to address. The police just don't get it yet. They have a police mentality, and they don't see that it's wrong. And that's the problem that we're up against, is we need to prove to them that their police mentality is wrong in a free society. We are free in this country unless we actually commit a bank robbery or commit a felony in front of a police officer. They can't just kill us for smoking, I don't smoke marijuana, but I'm just saying they're killing people smoking marijuana, they're killing people for drunk driving, they're killing people just because you don't say, you don't do what they say, as in the Patricia Cook case, and the Daniel Lewis guy shot the woman in the church parking lot. I mean, she didn't do what he said, so he just shoots her in the head. I mean, it's ridiculous, but it's a police mentality that needs to be addressed, and I'm trying to get what's taught in the academies addressed. It all needs to be, the whole police profession needs to be stopped top to bottom and gone through top to bottom or abolished, because it's just that out of control. They are facing thousands and thousands of lawsuits all across the nation. Over the next 3 to 5 to 10 years, the police will be paying out hundreds of millions of dollars, if not $1 billion, in settlements to families they've destroyed.
Yeah, but the problem is it's not even the individual police officers are on the hook for that. It's the city that the police officers work for. Like, they don't have to spend a dime on doing anything. They don't get punished at all. They just continue on their work, and the city picks up the bill for them. And for some reason, I have no idea why, the taxpayers of that city somehow find that okay and allowed to continue. Right.
That I'm one of the people that have actually touched on that subject. I've never heard anybody say it, but when your profession is facing thousands and thousands of lawsuits, there's something wrong with your profession, okay? And you need to change it. You need to fix it, and that's what they're not doing. They're not even addressing they have a problem. They don't see they have a problem, and that's the problem. What's the use?
Right, because I know see that there's a problem, because it doesn't matter. It's not their money. It's a monopoly. They don't it doesn't matter.
Right.
Their service, nothing matters, because in the end, they're still going to get paid. They're still going to collect money, and they're still going to get away with everything because it's rigged. So it doesn't matter. You know what I mean?
It's definitely rigged. It's the I've been investigating stuff out here for a while now in California, and I uncovered through a friend of mine that there's a Supreme Court judge, Ronald George, that has like $50 million in a bank account, that he's not supposed to have. And I found out because there's a lawyer suing this judge. And why does a Supreme Court judge off the Ninth Circuit Court have $50 million? Well, it's obvious he was probably bribed the whole time he was there. So the judges are corrupt. I mean, and he's not the only one. And yeah, it's just rigged. Exactly. It's the corrupt cover the corrupt, and we're all getting screwed. And that's why we don't get any justice, and that's why there's thousands and thousands of families seeking justice for their murdered loved ones. They'll never get it, because if you plug in Justice for in Facebook. I did it one time, or Google it. There's thousands of sites that come up. Justice for this guy, justice for that guy, justice for dogs, justice for this, justice for that. You know, thousands and thousands of sites. And you know, DAs aren't going to prosecute thousands and thousands of dirty cops. It ain't going to happen. So this is the boat we're up against. You know, what say you?
No, this is a shining example of why there needs to be a more market-based driven need for protection services like they're doing in Detroit and whatnot. Because if in the case currently, the monopoly is forced upon us, and we have to pay regardless, or else we get stuck in a cage. But if it was provided through a private company or whatnot, then we can withdraw our consent to pay them, and once they have no money, they got nowhere to go. So, you know,
right.
But that's all we have for this this week's show. Sorry to cut you off.
Okay.
If anybody has anything about some ideas of market-driven solutions or whatnot, call in next week. Maybe that's what we'll talk about next week as a topic of fans. But anyways, thanks for listening to the Copblock Radio Show, and remember, until next week, badges don't grant extra rights.
Thanks for listening to FPRN. Don't forget to check us out on Facebook and Twitter. If you'd like to start your own show with FPRN, advertise with us, or donate to the network or to your favorite shows, check out our website at www.fprnradio.com.
Am I the only one that can feel this way? My oldest been betrayed. This